What's up, guys? Welcome to the first ever Words at War. This is just going to be a channel we're doing, or I'm doing, just for reviews when it comes to games, movies, just different stuff that just goes on in the seven voices in my head. But we'll just be doing a review. My name is Jorge Guerra.
I'm Sergio Guerra.
We're brothers, identical brothers. All the way.
Not identical.
Not identical. But so today, what we're gonna be doing is gonna be Star Trek Into the Darkness. We just watched it tonight, and usually, to tell you the truth, we go to the movies a lot.
Yeah, we're always like after the movies talking about the movie, probably for at least an hour. Sometimes annoy our friends. Sometimes they just like it. They like seeing us argue. We don't always argue, but whether or not that happens, hopefully it's enjoyable to you.
We haven't gotten locked up once. No actual violence. Just battle of words and wits. And
no wits, none at all.
A little, just a little.
Okay, so here's what we kind of figured out. We're gonna kind of give you a quick synopsis of what the movie was about, and then we're gonna go and talk about our own opinions, kind of back and forth. We don't know what's going to happen, but we'll do that for a couple of minutes, and then we'll just break it down to what we liked and we disliked, and give you kind of like a rating. So hopefully that helps. If you haven't seen the movie, you might want to go check it out. You might want to not spend your money on it. Okay?
Yeah. Hopefully we won't be. Well, we're gonna try really hard and not do any spoilers. That's kind of the whole point. It's just a review, pretty much, thoughts and feelings we had about it more so. Rather than telling you the whole story. So, Star Trek Into the Darkness, it's the second movie in the series done by J.J. Abrams. So we're back in the helm with Captain Kirk, Spock, Uhura, the whole gang, and just their adventures through space. So, me personally, going through the movie, I went in there, I really liked the first one, so I went in there expecting, for it to be a fun movie. It being the summer, the summer seems a little non-boombastic with a summer movie. So I was really hoping to have a lot of fun with this one, and it did. It's a really fun movie. I think the story's well told. J.J. Abrams did a great job directing this. Cinematography-wise, it's good. Special effects looked awesome. We started in 3D. It wasn't built for 3D, but it didn't take away from it. But it didn't really add from it. So
but I think it was one of those that actually transferred well. So the 3D that was added actually enhanced the scenes that it was in. Plus the CG was really good.
Yes, that was one thing that was.
And so both of those things together, I think, was.
And I agree with that. I definitely do agree with that because especially sci-fi is known for the CG and all that jazz.
Okay, and he's smirking because we kind of had a pre-conversation to this, and so I agree on the fact that I think the movie was fun.
I'm just waiting for this to happen.
I think the movie was fun. I thought it was very well made. It was great overall, I had a lot of fun watching it. Without giving any spoilers, my only drawback was that the story itself that they kind of went with in this second part was just it was kind of a rehash for me. That's how I felt, and I thought that because of that, it took away from the experience a little bit. Because if this same energy that was put into this movie was put into a different story that was a little more original, I think it would have been a lot more fun.
And I can see that. However, sometimes when you go to the movies, original is great, but a guaranteed good time is always good too. So
yeah, but if it's original, or original is good because it's something new. If you've seen something before that was well done, you don't go to the movies to rewatch it. At least not a lot of times, and especially when you're expecting something new. And that was my thing. If I was going back to watch one of the original Star Trek films, which I don't want to name any of them to try and stay away from spoilers. But if I was going back to watch that in the big screen or whatever, I'd go anticipating that. But I went to watch a new Star Trek movie, and it was new. It was all dressed up really nice and everything, but essentially it just kind of felt rehashed a little bit, and I thought it could have been done a lot better.
But I don't know.
Story-wise.
I think I think that's the same thing that happened with the first one. I mean, the first one, it's a story we've heard before, kind of the whole time travel thing, you know. But when something's done well, it's still fun to watch and it's still enjoyable. And like you said, you liked it, so I mean,
I did like it, but there's a difference. Like you said in part one, without getting too far off from this, movie, the thing is, you're gonna have aspects of a movie that fit into other movies you've seen or other stories you've heard or whatever. And yes, if they're redone and done well, they're exciting or whatever. But the basic story behind it was kind of the same as stuff we've seen before. And at least, I'm not claiming to be the biggest Star Trek fan ever, but I've seen enough of Star Trek and I've seen some of the older movies where it just seemed a little redone, and it would have been so great to just see something completely original. They had parts in this movie that if they would have just gone that way, again, I'm not trying to give any spoilers, but, which kind of takes away all of my feedback.
Yeah.
But, they could have gone in those other directions and put the same energy into it, and it would have been a great, entertaining new film.
Me personally, I just normally when I go to the movies, I just I'm going to have a good time, escape a little bit, just enjoy myself and the $40 that I dropped on popcorn and soda, right? But yeah. Hey guys, what's up? So while we were cutting this out, we actually noticed that our camera shut down while we were filming. So I'm just gonna go ahead and cut out my pros. So I'm gonna go give those to you right now. So as far as pros for this movie, what I really liked about it is that the story flowed well. I do think that the characters were fun to watch. The comedic timing was there. So it was a good movie. CGI was awesome. J.J. Abrams did a great job of doing the cinematography on this. And, I think it had all the highs and lows of a good, roller coaster summer film. So as far as cons, I really didn't have many that I would say pop into my mind right now that I would... Yeah, I'm gonna go with not many cons. Not any cons that would take away from the film. I'd say that.
All right, so my end, I agree. I thought the CG was great. The cinematography was awesome. All the actors, pretty much did a really good job. Overall, I said before, and I agree with George, that the movie was fun. It was entertaining. I can't take that away from it. The cons, for me, some of the characters got diluted a little bit. A character like Bones, which in the first Star Trek movie, they did a really good job of bringing that character and the feel from the show to this new series. And he was pretty much just he was just there for one-liners practically this whole movie, And I really believe sometimes, it's better not to use something as much. Like, he didn't have to be in every scene just because he's a main character, if they're going to dilute him this much. I think he would have been much more effective. And, some of the stuff like that. But con-wise, very, very little, except for the fact that, like I said, the story just seemed a little rehashed for me. I would still definitely recommend people go watch it, especially if they haven't started watching, or haven't started their summer, movie watching. This is a good one to start with.
Yeah.
So, rating?
I would give it. I would go with a 4. I mean, it was definitely up there for me. Especially if you're not a big Star Trek fan and you don't know all the lore and all that stuff. Even with that gone, even without the fan fodder, it was a good movie to watch. I mean, I think it's a good movie for just about a general audience. So I would give it a 4.
And I'm a little tougher, I guess. So I would say 3.5 for me. Still a good movie though.
Yeah, definitely.
3.5. So somebody that knows math might be able to put that together.
Yeah.
As a top score. What does that come out to?
97.
4, 7.5. Yeah. Something like that.
Yeah.
Anyways, but yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, we had our most disagreements earlier in the parking lot, so we're trying to figure out, maybe next time we'll just film right as soon as we come out of the movie or whatever. But hopefully, if you haven't seen the movie, this helped you a little bit to, whether or not you're going to want to go see it. But we sure both actually recommend it, no matter what.
Definitely. It definitely is one of those movies that if you're waiting for the summer blockbusters to come, this is where it's starting. So, Iron Man was great, but this is starting to shape up as a summer of movies. But
that's it.
Yeah.
All right. See you next time or whatever.
See you next movie and stuff. Or Let's go out to the lobby.
God,
No?
just no.
Yeah.
Cut it.
Cut it out.
All right, it should be cut right there for sure.
No, we're just keep going. We're gonna roll on this. We're gonna roll on this.
It's done.
Start checking.